Hello warriors and welcome to another video. Today we're gonna talk about food addiction and how to stop binge eating forever. Food addiction is real, y'all. This is gonna be a very serious video because food addiction is a very serious illness and it can ruin your life. Unfortunately, most doctors still don't know enough about food addiction to be able to help their patients. That's why for so long I didn't even know I had a food addiction, even though I was diagnosed with an eating disorder. The thing is, an eating disorder and food addiction is not the same thing. They can overlap, but they are two very different issues and they need to be treated separately. There needs to be a plan for the eating disorder, and then there also needs to be a plan for the food addiction. So I will tell you guys all about this in this video. So I recently traveled to Thailand and some stuff happened there that made me realize that I actually do have a food addiction. And I now finally understand why years of therapy and years of learning techniques to treat my eating disorder did not help me stop binge eating. I finally understand why it didn't work. So if you've been following me for a while, then you know that I have been diagnosed with anorexia. And even though I have made a lot of progress in traditional therapy, I just kept relapsing time after time in spite of all my efforts and in spite of the fact that I applied all of the techniques that I was learning in traditional therapy. So let's dive right into what I've discovered. So when I traveled to Thailand, I was in a pretty good place. I hadn't binged for weeks. And yeah, we just went to Thailand and I decided to just eat fruit there for breakfast, and I brought some of my own food so that I could enjoy safe meals and everything was okay. I had made a lot of progress in therapy. For example, we chose a hotel that had a gym so I could work out every day. But when we got there, we received a letter telling us, informing us that the gym would be closed for at least a week. And I didn't panic. I was like, okay, fine, then I'll just don't go to the gym. I'll be fine. And it was really easy. I didn't work out. I wasn't even very active on vacation. I drank cocktails every day and I just laid at the pool. It was a-okay, and that is huge for me. I even ate some vegan meals with oil that I normally wouldn't even dare to eat at home. So I was noticing that I made a lot of progress mentally. So yeah, I was in a pretty good place. But in the second half of our vacation, my childish curiosity got the best of me. And I was like, well, I'm only gonna be in Thailand once because I don't know when I'm gonna be able to be back. This is a really special experience. And maybe I do wanna try the Thai kitchen. And I got a bit emotional about it, and yeah, I was like, I just want to eat some duck with this delicious sauce. I had seen a lady order it and it looked really delicious. And I thought, even though it wasn't vegan, I thought that it was a good thing that I wanted to try that, because I was like, well, I don't like the fact that I'm gonna feel fuller than usual and that I might gain some weight because I'm going to indulge in this. But on the other hand, I feel way more relaxed than I used to in the past, and I'm okay with a little bit of weight gain. And because I am recovering from anorexia, I was like, wow, that's huge. That's a thumbs up for me. Well done, great job, you know? So I looked at it from a very positive perspective. I was like, I'm actually making even more progress than I already was. So I ate the piece of duck with the delicious sauce and French fries because I'm not a big fan of rice, to be honest. And you know, I did eat more than I would if I would just eat until I was satisfied. But I was like, that's normal too. Normal people do this too on vacation. They indulge. It's okay. And I didn't feel good physically after the meal because I normally don't eat that much. And even though it wasn't a binge, it was a bit too much for me. I also drank some beer, some Thai beer. I really enjoyed it, but afterwards I felt really full and just not as good as when I would eat a vegan meal and just stick with my normal portion size. But I was like, it's okay. I'm just enjoying the Thai kitchen, and one of the consequences is that I don't feel as good physically as I would normally, but it's just an experience. It doesn't have to be negative or positive. It's just an experience, just like any other experience. So I thought I was doing a really good job in recovery. But the days after that, I wanted the duck again. And I was like, well, it's still normal. It was really good, and you can't eat this in Belgium. It's not the same thing. So I'm just enjoying my vacation. And my boyfriend thought the same thing. But then when we got back in Belgium, I started binging again. And that's when I knew, oh my God, what I did in Thailand was not me making progress. It was a relapse, a beginning relapse. And what I noticed was that when I don't eat vegan, when I eat certain foods that are really greasy and satisfying and salty, and that aren't whole plant-based foods, I cannot stop eating. I can stop eating sometimes when I have the discipline, but in the back of my mind, I will still want to have more, which is not a nice feeling. Even if you're not really in excruciating emotional pain, even then it's not fun to have those thoughts and feelings in the back of your mind. So I came back to Belgium. I had a binging spree that lasted 3 days. I felt horrible, and I decided to look up addiction and what to do when you're triggered and relapse on YouTube. And what I found just blew my mind. I now finally understand why every time I got to a very low body weight and I was finally satisfied with my body and my weight, I now finally understand why each time that happened and I started incorporating normal non-anorexic foods like pasta and a healthier version of chips, which were vegan by the way, I now understand why after a while it always led to a relapse. So when you're a food addict, and you can be one even if you're not overweight, you can be skinny, overweight, obese, normal, it doesn't matter. If you're a food addict, you cannot stop eating when you eat certain foods. And I don't mean like, oh my God, I ate the whole bag of chips. No, no, no. When you're a food addict, when you eat something sugary or really fatty or salty, you cannot stop. It ruins your life. So if you're a food addict, you will be so obsessed with food that it has a great impact on your social life, your work life. It just ruins your life. You can't stop thinking about food. And you try to stop binge eating, but you just can't. You may have a good day where you don't binge, but the day after you just relapse and you binge out. You spend a lot of time planning your meals, and by meals I mean binging sprees, and you feel really ashamed, you feel really bad, you have physical issues, you have physical health issues, but even then you can't stop acting the way you're acting. You really can't help yourself. It's like an alcoholic. When he has one drop of alcohol, he has to keep drinking, you know? And every food addict is different. Some people can't even have fruit because it's just too sweet and it will trigger their sugar addiction. So it's different for everyone, but food addiction is real and it's very serious and it is ruining lives all over the world. A lot of people suffer from this, but they don't even know it because not a lot of people know about this. And it's a very difficult issue because you need food to survive. So, what I realize now is that every time I was at a low body weight and I finally started to have confidence and trust in my own body and my metabolism, I thought I was doing a good job when I was incorporating fear foods into my diet, like pasta, white bread, chips, stuff that I would normally not eat when I was in the anorexic mindset. The thing is, sooner or later, it always led to a relapse. And even when I wasn't binging and I was controlling my portion intake, I would eat a small bag of chips and I would still be wanting more afterwards. And I could control myself then, but still I noticed that I started wanting this little bag of healthier chips every single day, when actually that's not the lifestyle I wanted to lead. I wanted to be able to indulge in certain foods from time to time, but I didn't want to eat candy or chips every day, not even if it was vegan, because I know that it's not healthy. It's not because something is vegan that it's healthy. Oreo cookies are vegan, but they're not healthy. You can still get diabetes from them. So I did a lot of research and I found out that there are a lot of food addicts and that there is actually a plan for such people. And most food addicts follow an abstinent food plan. The theory behind it is that just like an alcoholic or a heroin junkie, a drugs addict, you need to abstain from food. Now, of course, this is a very difficult issue because you need to eat to survive. So what does an abstinent food plan mean? It means that a food addict can never ever eat his or her binging foods again. So they need to abstain from every food that triggers them to binge. For most food addicts, this means no processed food. No bread, no flour, no cookies, no chips, no junk food, no burgers, no French fries. They need to make their meals as boring as possible. Now, everyone's different and different things work for different people. So, for example, some food addicts cannot eat fruit ever because it's too sweet and it triggers their sugar addiction. Other food addicts can't eat peanut butter because it's too fatty and there's something with the peanut butter that triggers them and they will just eat the whole jar. I, for example, because I have been experimenting with the vegan lifestyle for years now, I know that I can eat banana ice cream for breakfast. It's healthy and it's really delicious. So I can eat delicious foods until a certain level. I can eat vegan banana ice cream and I can eat vegan buckwheat waffles with chocolate sauce. Most food addicts cannot eat chocolate sauce. It will just trigger them and send them into a full-blown relapse. So I just want to say that everyone is different. Mind you, the buckwheat waffles are vegan and they are not made with any flour. It's just buckwheat, the whole grain that I sprout. So I soak it, then I sprout it, and then I blend it and it becomes a dough, but it's actually not a dough. And I just put 2 bananas in there, some vanilla extract, and cinnamon. I don't put real sugar in it, and then I bake it in my waffle iron. So mind you, this is very important. It aren't real waffles, but they do taste like real waffles. So some food addicts, or even a lot of food addicts, might not be able to eat such a meal, but I've noticed that I can. What I can't eat are chips, or any vegan candy or cookies. It's just too addicting. Vegan chocolate, no. Like everything that's considered candy or cookies, I can't eat. Pasta, I can't eat either. I will want to keep eating. I'll eat 4 plates, and if I have the discipline to stop after 1 plate, I will be thinking about the next meal all day long. So, yeah, that's food addiction. So, what has helped a lot of food addicts is an abstinent food plan. This means that they have to plan all of their meals in advance, and they have to stick to that plan to the letter. Even if they don't feel like eating that lunch that day, they have to eat that. They also weigh all of their food. They weigh their vegetables, their grains, their meat, everything. And they have to stick to that. Of course, they can't have any foods that trigger them, so they eat whole foods. Some food addicts go vegan, some of them don't. It doesn't really matter as long as they eat whole foods. And the meals can be delicious, but some food addicts are suffering so much, their food addiction is so severe that some of them go to extreme measures. There's this man, I don't recall his name, but he's pretty famous in America, and he did a potato diet. He was so addicted to food that for a whole year he just ate plain potatoes, baked or cooked. He didn't eat anything else because his addiction was so severe that if he would eat anything else, he would be just gone. He would be sent into a full-blown relapse, and he just couldn't help himself. So some people have to take extreme measures, others not so much. It really depends from person to person. And there is an organization called Bright Line Eating, and I think it was founded by Chef AJ. She also suffered from anorexia and food addiction. And Bright Line Eating is an organization that helps people with food addiction, and they follow an abstinent food plan. And it does sound really extreme because, if you join the group, you have to weigh all of your food, you can't eat certain foods for the rest of your life, But I totally agree with this approach. I have been applying it these past few days, and it really does work. It just makes my life so easy. Because if I don't plan my meals in advance, I will be obsessing over food the whole time. And that will send me into a binge eventually. What's extremely important to know is that if you are a true food addict and nothing else has worked for you and it has ruined your life, you're on the verge of suicide or death because you have diabetes or cancer or whatever, or heart disease, it's very important to realize that you have to be very strong, because there will always be people telling you, it's okay, you have to treat yourself sometimes. It's your birthday, just eat one piece of birthday cake. It's not gonna harm you. And the thing is, those people just don't understand, and that's okay. But you need to realize that, do you say to an alcoholic like, oh, it's Saturday, one drink won't hurt you? Or do you take a heroin junkie to a drug dealer and say, come on man, it's Saturday, you gotta live a little, just one shot won't hurt you? No, you don't do that. Everyone knows that an alcoholic can never ever drink again. A heroin junkie can't ever take drugs again. And it's just the same thing with food addiction. If I eat a piece of birthday cake on my birthday, it will send me into a full-blown binge, and I may not be able to shake it off for a couple of weeks, resulting in serious health issues. I will gain 20 pounds in only 1 week. my ankles will be swollen. They will be like this because of all of the water retention. Um, it's a very serious condition, you guys. So for myself, I have decided to keep my meals and my food black and white so that I can live my life in color. For me, not eating is living. A lot of people are going to tell you, you have to live a little, you have to treat yourself, otherwise you don't live, you're not living, blah, blah, you're not enjoying life. Well, first of all, if living is eating junk food, then I don't want any part in that. Because when I eat junk food, I feel sluggish, tired, I just want to keep eating more. I don't want to be social and socialize with people. I don't feel good. I don't feel like, for example, my absolute passion in life is hoop dance, and I have this dream of becoming a professional hoop dancer and teaching people to hoop dance. I know that if I will be like, well, I have to treat myself from time to time, I won't be able to control myself, and I will feel so bad about myself that I won't feel like hoop dancing. I won't go after my dreams in life. And food is just temporary. A meal, I mean, it lasts like 5 minutes and then it's gone. I mean, like real experiences, like when I hoop dance, I can hoop dance all day, but I can't keep eating all day. So it's just temporary joy. And second of all, like I said, for me, not eating sometimes is living. I get to live when I just eat my planned meals. So there will always be that person telling you, oh, just one little cupcake won't hurt you, just one slice of pizza won't hurt you. Don't do it. Just say thank you for your feedback, but no thanks. There will always be those people who won't support you because they don't understand or whatever. I mean, there are still people, and I don't understand, but there are still people who tell alcoholics to drink on New Year's Eve. So, what has really helped me is to just make a shift in my thinking and be like, okay, I'm eating to live, I'm not living to eat. I plan my meals in advance, I eat it, and I move on. I'm going to end the video here, but in the next video, I will give tips on what to do when you're triggered and when you want to binge. I will talk about some of the traps you might fall into, and if you know about this, then you can really beat the urge to binge when you feel the urge. And you will be able to prevent having the urge to binge. That's even better, because when you feel the urge to binge, it's really hard to resist it. But you can prevent yourself from even getting the urge to binge. And it's not that hard, you just have to know some stuff, and I will discuss that in the next video, okay? If you found this video helpful, then please give it a big thumbs up, because it really helps support my channel, and that way I know that I'm making the right videos and that I'm actually helping people. If you have any questions or tips or advice you want to share with the other subscribers, then please do so in the comment section down below, and I hope you have a really nice day. Okay, stay strong, guys. Bye!